such an honor to be here today with one of my favorite persons in the world. Not only because of the business that we built together, but Laura is really one of my best friends. We go way back from like the first day that we met in a cafeteria at university. We fell in love with each other's vibe. And it's been more than a decade, right, babe? Almost like one and a half
Yes.
decades. We're
Yes.
aging good.
We're
We're
growing.
aging good. And the reason, especially the second reason why I'm so excited that Lara's here is not only because she's an amazing human being, and I know that you're going to love to hear from her, but also because Lara is she's became in the past 15 years such an icon in the industry. And she's one of the professionals that I most look up to. And I'm going to give a brief resume of her over here. And it's like, I think Lara, when she presents herself, it takes 2 minutes to tell about all her certifications, which I really
I
love.
never do that really.
You never do them all right
No,
anymore.
but I'm humbled by this like intro. Yeah.
Yeah. And you just have so much knowledge about business and about, well, of course, also your field in human health. But I love how you evolved as an entrepreneur. And we're going to talk about this journey and talk about the thing that links us into this is like, how do you create a business that gives a life that you want to live, a life of freedom and a life of purpose? Yeah. All right.
Yes.
So Lara is Lara is the co-founder of Health Coaching Facts, which is a business that she has with her family, where they have helped thousands of women to balance their hormones naturally. Lara was talking about the effects of sugar and hormonal balance 15 years ago, where nobody was talking about it. I definitely remember that. One of the first like thinkers in this industry to bring it up, and she's also the founder of the Embodied Coaching Academy for women, where they do certified coaching trainings for women to become not only coaches, but also to understand not only the mindset part, but also the physical part, right, babe? Of how do we work with our cycles and how does it mean to be a woman in high performance without burning yourself out, without disrespecting, your being, which I such a beautiful project that you have with Mona Hassan, this one. And she's also a beautiful platinum leader in our organization with doTERRA. Skyrocketed the first 2 years. It was really so beautiful to see how fast you grew. And also an integrative medicine doctor. Can I call you this way?
No, I functional medicine certified health
Thank
coach. Yeah, but
you.
thank you for
Yes, we
not a
cannot put
doctor.
a doctor there. Okay, that's what it is.
Yeah,
Welcome.
beautiful. Thank you so much for that intro. Thank you so much. I feel, like I said, humbled by being here, by having built this business with you over the last 6 years, and to talk about it because this part we haven't talked about so much.
No, we
Like,
never came
oh,
live to
like
talk about this. So this is the
no,
first
why
time.
not? But now it's here.
I love it. I love it. Let's kick off. I have made a few questions, so I'm going to be going back and forth. So, babe, I already told you, like, I wanted to tell you, before even we got started working together, you were already an icon in the industry, right? You were already a coach for Women's Health magazine. You were already an ambassador for Lululemon. I remember all the process of becoming all of this. You were already an author for Mind, Body, and Green. And you already had like your business with Health Coach Effects, which was already like very much recognized as the hormone health expert. What brought you to say yes to this opportunity of working with me and doTERRA? Because you already had it all. Like, what was the calling? Can you hear me? We're, we're back. We're back.
I'm sorry.
Did
I
you
lost you.
hear my question?
No, I didn't. I
Okay, I'm
didn't.
gonna
No.
start it all over again. So when we started working together 6 years ago, you're already an icon, right? You're already like a coach for women's health. You're already a Lululemon ambassador. Health Coach Effects was already like one of the go-to companies for women's health. Why, in God's name, would you choose to do the terror with me?
It's such a good question. Actually, you wrote it to me before, and I was reflecting back on it. And I think it all comes down to freedom, and it's a big topic for in today's talk that we have with each other. Freedom has always been my North Star. I think it's yours as well, and that's why we get along so well. We have a very similar value system, and I was grateful for everything that was already there. I just really wanted to have something that I could do from wherever I want, kind of like on my own time, like building not only emotional and physical freedom, more of that in my life, but especially also financial freedom. And basically to have the cards in my own hands and to be fully responsible myself of any outcome I wish to create. And I found such a beautiful vehicle in that, and on so many levels. Like I love working with doTERRA. The product is outstanding. If I like, it was like one of the big reasons as well was to like you said, like I always talk about women's health, right? And like I help many women all across the world already for 10 years, and I really saw like there's these three main root causes to hormone imbalances that I always speak about in all my content. That's always what I get back to, because it's one of my missions to make it really simple and just to help people understand. It's not like health is not rocket science, it's not hard. Like we make it hard, but but it doesn't have to be hard. And on the one hand, we have nutrition, of course, and inflammation. And I was trained in that like already like 10 years ago. Then stress and emotional health, such a big topic, or sleep quality and so on. And there it's already okay. I can do coaching and so on. I can work maybe with some things here and there, but the essential oils for that were amazing. And then to really tackle the third pillar, which is toxic overload, for me, doTERRA was a no-brainer, because I really realized I need something that people can bring people really back to the essence, something that is really so clean that it's like bottled nature, right? So we really we wanted to really give people something in their hands, something tangible in their hands as well, like on top of the things we were already doing, that would really help them make a big jump in their health, on their health journey, on their freedom that they felt in their own bodies, and to really have more physical and emotional freedom as well, and to reduce that toxic load very easily. And then doTERRA just became this amazing, it was like a gift falling in my lap. Like you presented it and I was like, of course. We were already thinking about different things like teas and so on. What can we do to help to support people on another level? And then essential oils, they made so much sense. And then also the supplements, you know, that I love working with supplements, and especially the gut and liver cleansing program of doTERRA. I've been doing that for 6 years and I've seen such amazing results. So for me, that part, it was just all fitting, you know, like the customer side, like what it can do for you as an entrepreneur, as a wellness entrepreneur. Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember. Like, I remember it was about this time. It was summer, and I went to
It was
Hamburg
summer.
for us to lunch together.
Exactly 6 years ago.
Remember that exactly 6 years ago. And then we sat together and I opened kind of like the brochure with the business explanation. I had just been in my training, right? And you look at me and you're like, oh, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. I know exactly what to do. And because we came from owning our own business and having to figure everything out by ourselves, right? We both
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
all the pains and the somehow excessive money that we both spent on our first businesses. It all paid out in the end, but
Yeah.
but we felt the pain of like, my God, I had to figure out how to make the product, how to put it out there, how to promote, how to create recurring customers. And then suddenly we had this
Everything.
laid out and we're like, it's so easy. It's
Yeah.
almost a joke. Remember that.
It's like a business in a box.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
got us very excited because what I also think, and I wanted to bring this here, a lot of people, when they see this idea, like, you know, there is so much ease in duplication. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. It's the business in a box. They think like, I'm going to lose my authentic self. And you are probably the best example of not doing that, of getting the frameworks and the structures and the pillars and applying them in a way that is so suitable to you, like you never became a doTERRA catalog.
No, yeah. Intuitively, I never wanted, but
No.
I also felt it was not the way, like for in a way for anyone, right? Like it's yeah,
Yeah.
everyone is serving their own kind of movement with their own expertise and their own talents and their own strengths, and yeah, it's something that you can bend to whatever you're doing. It's like so beautiful in that way. Like
Yeah.
it's so flexible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I would also love to hear if somebody hearing this has already have thoughts like this. Let us know in the comment, because then we can, we can just address and then see how we went through this kind of like decision process ourselves
Yeah.
as well, right? Because I think it's something very common that people feel like, I want to do this, but I don't want to do it in this way, but they don't see there's like 1,000 other ways that you can actually do.
Yeah.
Okay, babe. So we made the decision 5 years ago, and then I saw a massive growth in you as an entrepreneur from then to now? It was a moment that we were both already a few years in business. We have some business background, but we didn't have the cash yet, kind of like the financial results. I think we both had kind of like some results in community and etc. But that's kind of like regulated central nervous system. Like there is enough money in my bank account, no matter what. I can relax, I can enjoy. That wasn't there
Yeah.
yet. And then I
We made
saw
it work, but we were hustling hard.
we were hustling. We were totally hustling, right?
Hmm.
And that changed. Of course, I saw you hitting six figures years, and I saw we celebrated on your birthday when you hit five figures a day. And I was like, wow, you sold more than 10K today. And you're like, oh, I haven't even
Yeah.
realized that.
You're always so good at reflecting these things back to me.
Yeah, yeah. But it was beautiful to see your growth, not only as a human being, but also this growth being represented in numbers back, right? We both really wanted that financial certainty. How did you see yourself, this growth happening? And how do you think this work with doTERRA played a role in it?
Mm, Personally, I think like you mean like first my growth as an entrepreneur. Like I think I think it was really about using my voice. I think I was reflecting on it a little bit, and I think I was keeping myself so quiet. I'm not like necessarily a shy person, but I like using my throat chakra wasn't like opening up wasn't an issue for me. And like through doTERRA, I think I have just used my voice so much, so many times. I've been in so many situations and creating lead generation events, like speaking on, I don't know, yoga festival or on the stage somewhere on a conference. And yeah, I think that was one of the big
Yeah.
change makers, like opening up my voice.
Multiple classes, multiple master classes.
I
We were just
hosted,
like,
yeah, I did so many, I hosted so many trainings, like did workshops, did talks, and it was that not something that I'm naturally, like I wasn't like born out of the, like, well, actually my mom said I was like making sounds and stuff like, as a kid, like, I think it's my inner self, but then like the limiting beliefs on top dimmed myself down, like for many years, trying to be very careful, always very like, what would other people think? And the moment you just stop caring what other people think, just start speaking your own truth, like voice the message that you have for the world, I think then everything changes. And I think that happened a lot because I was just constantly speaking. I also did it I grew pretty quickly in doTERRA, though. That means like I was at some point almost doing I think, I don't know, 5 workshops a week or so. Like I had times like that. Guys, you don't have to do that.
we figured out along the way how to make it better. One
Yeah,
of the
that's
good
the
things
thing
of
about your
working with
we
us after
tried.
6 years.
Yeah, we tried everything.
We
Like we
tried.
did all the trial and error
Yeah,
for you.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and that
Yes.
helped. Yeah.
And also
Yeah.
something like we didn't even agree we would speak about it, but I'm gonna bring it up because what I saw, because of the model that doTERRA is built, that is very much focused on creating team structures, and
Yeah.
it's not so much that people work for you, but it's like a collaborative leadership that you have many leaders within your tree. Let's put it this way, and the bigger the branch is, kind of like the bigger you are as a tree. So your aim is to become this beautiful oak tree with lots of branches around it. I saw you growing into leadership. And then from there, your business also took kind of like a different turn, which was to coach women, um, combining these two topics, right? So combining leadership, combining business skills with, well, you actually even have the business mentorship that comes after the coaching, of course.
Yeah.
Combining this with the knowledge that it's kind of like your personal story into women's health. Did you see kind of like all these things binding together and the evolution as an entrepreneur, not only to be for 2 decades somebody who speaks about women's health, but somebody who then dares to, okay, what happens when you regulate your hormones? You find your superpowers, and then you take your leadership, and then you go into your business. Did you see that?
It's so like you're always so good at mirroring, because if you put it that way, yeah, that makes a lot of sense actually now retrospectively, that it evolved that way. Yeah, that in a way the business evolved along with my own journey as well, and to share about that. And I think one of the things to maybe also for anyone who's watching is really to start before you're ready. I always thought like I will start my coaching school, you know, like in 10 years from now. And then all of a sudden there was this opportunity, this beautiful person as well, my other business partner, Mona, coming in my life. She's like, hey, love, should we do this? Should we do this now? And I think with anything that I've started before, I felt ready. I actually was ready. I was so ready. Like I've been doing this for such a long time,
Yeah.
but your mind can play such tricks, right? So to really start before you're ready, I think that's, yeah, like
If this,
jumping into the unknown, you know,
if
like we always, you and
this,
I
and
say.
this. Okay, guys, I'm gonna tell a side story. We have a very interesting call about the unknown because when I got pregnant of my second child, I panicked. And before I called my husband, I called Lara, and I was in panic. And she only thing that she told me was, "Babe, the unknown has never let you down." And this became our quote for life, right? And I think this is also in
Mm.
business. The unknown never lets you down. When you jump, you're caught.
That's it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you will make it work during the jump. The action is in the clarity is in the action, right? Like that's also something I always say with Mona. So what you always like with the unknown and then with the clarity. It's so interesting. It's so when you're in the arena, then you can actually know what are the next steps. You cannot strategize your way through it like, oh, I'm gonna get there and there. You have to be in the action for things to evolve. Yeah. And with many projects that I've started, I think I never felt 100% ready, but I saw another quote just to throw all of them out there today. Um, life life begins at the end of your comfort zone. I saw it in 2011, 2010, 2011 in Australia on a card, and I bought that card, and it's been one of my guidelines throughout everything afterwards. And it's so true. Like sometimes things feel scary, but we actually don't even know what we're scared of because we're not in the action. We don't know like how we would hold ourselves once we're there. Recently, I spoke on the stage at the doTERRA convention, and it was as if I was in a trance. I don't know. I was like, it was just flowing. And would I have never been on doing all these things before, I would not have gotten to that point, and I would have not experienced that it can be like a trance. It can be like almost like a meditative state in which you're doing it. And that's beautiful because my fear back then when I didn't use my voice could have easily stopped me somewhere along the way, and I would have never had that experience. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And if the fear is of failure, another quote that Lara always says, because today's going to be quote day, is we
Quote that.
fail forward. And that's how we do our business, right, Lara? We just fail forward.
Yeah.
We go trying trial and error, and it lands
It
eventually.
works.
It will. It works, trust us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Babe, did you have a breakthrough point in your business journey?
Breakthrough point. I think I had like the one with the voice was for sure like one of the things that was then things started to take off. The more I started to speak in front of people and so on. But a breakthrough point, I think for me, and that's maybe also a big lesson that I still learned recently, actually in the last year, is that self-trust is such a big element in anything. And I did take a little bit of a break from doTERRA last year. Like not a break. I was still maintaining. I was just not growing it. It was just remaining on the same level, taking care of every one of my customers, of my business partners, and so on, but not actively like growing it. I was also doing the coaching school at the time, like bringing that into the world and doing another training myself. So I was not sitting still, but in that year, I really realized for me, why I started was location freedom and freedom. And after almost living for 10 years in Hamburg, I was like, I'm not living that freedom. I'm constantly working towards it, but I can now give it to myself, but I'm not doing it. And in a way, I think subconsciously that kind of made me lose self-trust a bit, right? Like if I'm working towards something, do I then also allow myself to give it to myself? And will I live that dream that I have been working towards? And it was so important for me. Like I took a little bit of time to like really test out different places to live and find that trust again within myself, that I keep promises to myself, that I will then, if I get there, also live that. And it's in a way also the receiving, right? Like I've been working as a therapist on receiving podcast episode coming up soon on that. But to really like once you get somewhere, do you allow yourself to actually live your dreams? And that was actually also a very interesting process. And I think in that year I built a lot of self-trust again. And that's been super important for me now to be in another kind of headspace back in doTERRA, where there's a lot of joy, a lot of love, a lot of gratitude for this opportunity. And then at the same time, I feel doTERRA is also constantly evolving. They really are going through this wellness revolution. They are really becoming a wellness company that I stand so beautifully behind, because I just their whole ethos of being so transparent, of being so high quality, is just a dream to work with them, honestly, and to work then with others that, you know, like also love that wellness world and see the results with their communities and making an impact. Like the stories I hear the other day again, like a father of one of my clients tried frankincense for something, and for like after having had like quite a health struggle for many years, and it worked. And it was like all these little stories. Like another lady hasn't been able to sleep for 15 years, and then she works with copaiba and she can sleep for the first time again. She's like, this is my miracle oil. I'm like, it's just like, this is a gift that just keeps on giving. Like not only in terms of allowing us to create these teams and this impact and this freedom, but really also to see the transformation in our clients and to see them having something in their hands that actually works and that is clean and that is helping them feel better again, have the energy again to then go after their big dreams and projects as well, you know.
Yeah. I think this is so beautiful what you're mentioning about this entire journey. For the ones that don't understand quite how the model works. So with doTERRA, you create a customer database, and about 85% are just customers, 60% about 60% are recurring customers. So they're always purchasing because they love the products. It becomes part of their life. And there is a small percentage of 10-15% who are also selling the products as well. So that's how you create team structures, right? And Lara and I are very passionate about both. Like we love the people that we work with and we love our customers. And the thing is that with doTERRA, you create a database that keeps on purchasing, therefore you create residual income, which doesn't mean that you don't need to really work for it, but it does mean that allows you to go with the seasons of life. So the example for me, that I could be 2 years with my kids at home, you know, that I could build this business while being pregnant. And in the case of Lara, that she could have other dreams, right? Go launch the coaching school, go study functional
Medicine.
what do I have? Medicine. I can't say medicine. Medicine. And to live in Barcelona, right, was so big for you to go like, hey, let me do all these things that are living inside of me. And then you can come back and then you say, okay, let's go to the next level, right? What else can how many more lives can I impact? We reached 2,000 homes in these years, but what if we can reach 10,000? What if we can reach 100,000?
Exactly. It's really like, however, that's the beautiful thing. Like, however big or small you want to make it, you can, and you can take your own timeline, and you basically, like you said, can go and flow with the seasons of your own life. And I also created the organization, and like I said, I maintained it in that year. And now I'm just like, I feel also there's so much movement, like so many people that want to join our organization community. I think because we built something very special, you and I, which, makes it really possible and to do this also from wherever, right? And to create this digitally, like we were one of the first ones to to find ways to and figure it out to do all this digitally. Like when Corona hit, that was my strongest year because we had everything already online. It was
And this was quite a special thing because sorry, babe, you're making teaching because we both came from the online world, right? And doTERRA, is it my mic or is it your
I
mic?
can hear you. I can hear you.
Oh. We both come from this online world, and the doTERRA world was still more about the parties, right? And we loved them, and we hosted a lot of them. Is it me? Yeah.
I
Now
hear
no,
you well. I
no,
hear you well. Okay.
it's me. Yeah. Okay. Nice. And because we had this background, we started to combine what we have learned from our background to what to the systems and the systems that were already in place and they were already proven to work. So we
Yes.
got
Yeah.
like a proven system with an experience that we already had. And I
Yeah.
think that's what makes such a beautiful combo and what allowed us to create something incredibly stable, which I think nowadays it's quite rare for any type of business.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Like, yeah, I know so many business owners, and it's not easy to create a steady business in whatever industry, you know, especially at this point in time.
Yeah.
But yeah, to create something like this and to be able to grow it and to have a customer retention rate of 65%, which is only with companies like Apple, right? Like
Yeah.
it's very seldom that customer retention rate is so high, but it's just because the products are so good, they do their work. I mean, if people find ways to sleep again and they haven't been for 50 years, I mean, they will come back, you know?
And when you find something that like serves your primary needs of health, you just stick to it, right? When you have a high
Yes.
quality product, there's no need to go finding absolutely anything else.
Yeah.
All right, my love. Let's wrap it up. I have one last
Yes.
question for you. Let's wrap it up. Okay. What are the tools that are absolutely non-negotiable for you in your health, in your business, or in your life?
Um, for me, it all comes, it's like coming back to the basics, like the healthy habits every day. For me, movement is become very, very important. I realized it so much. I have to every day go outside and move my body, and I just have to feel in my body so that I can embody myself and my voice and my business and my health and my truth and my love. And it's so important to be in constant connection with yourself and your body, right? Like to listen to it and listen to its cues and to really
And
take care
never
of
trust a
yourself.
decision taken inside. That's my motto.
What did you say?
Never trust a decision taken inside. You need to go out.
Yeah, outside, inside your house. Yeah, for sure. Like, yeah, I can 100% relate to. Yeah, 100%. And it's really nourish. Like sometimes I think I do things. I was thinking about this question because I knew you would ask, but these things they have become second nature. You know, like I know which supplements will do me well every day. I love the lifelong fertility pack from doTERRA. It's just a no-brainer for me. Take it every day. Then I'm really excited about the PB Restore. I really love the Meta Power Advantage, like the collagen. It's been such a change in my energy, in my skin, in my hair. It's insane. And this just makes so much sense. Like it's biochemics, it's science. Like it just makes so much sense to add these things to your daily habit and to really have nourishing meals, to, you know, have gratitude practice, healthy thoughts, and so on and so on. But yeah,
And what I wanted to share about the advantage is that we both went really skeptical to it, right? We were like,
yeah, yeah.
okay, yeah, the hype, and then we tried. We were like, oh
Oh my
wow,
God.
next level. What is
I,
this?
my 70-year-old mother-in-law, she just got complimented by one of her best friends, like on her skin, and she was like, "What?" Like, and also I see it in my dad as well, and my mom, like, and all my customers as well. It's just insane, like, yeah,
It's
what it
insane.
does
We're
to
really
your skin.
reversing the clock. We're really
Yeah,
reversing the clock. Yeah.
yeah,
Side thing, yesterday I was at the beach and I realized that a lot of people feel that they don't have time in their lives. That seems to be like the collective
for sure.
issue, right? But with tools like Meta Power, for example, we're
Yeah,
expanding our lifespan.
yeah,
So even if you feel like your days are shorter, life is giving you opportunities to have a longer life. So you actually have time. It just
yeah.
hit me like, oh my God, we're actually creating time with Meta
It's
Power. That's what we
so
want.
true. I love that. I love that reframing with that. That that's really cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's so interesting as well. Like you and I, like when we started using Meta Power, we felt it in our. I mean, we're both in our mid 30s now, and energy is not anymore like in the early 20s, and it's such a. I can't go with it's out. It's just such a game changer. Yeah, so that's really a cool tool. It's easy to to take. You know, like it's something that everyone can do. Yeah.
And insert. Yeah, I love that. And babe, yes, last, what I wanted to ask you is when I first came to you and I said, I want to do this business. Do you want to join me? So the very first conversation that you turned to me and you said, Isa, my life is so full. No, thanks. I have absolutely no space. Like and then things evolve, right? And then 6 months later, we met and you were like, oh, actually right now I am looking for extra products to add.
Yeah.
And then your first thought was like to sell individual oils, a bit like in an Amazon affiliate thing. And well, Lara is an incredibly smart woman. So it took her a week to kind of like understand the opportunity, to see the business model. And then you shift and you're like, that was the moment that you looked at me, you're like, oh, this is
Yeah.
brilliant. I
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah.
Right? So what would you say to this version of yours of 6 years ago who first received that phone call of somebody saying like, hey, what do you think about this business? What would you say to her?
It's such a good question. Quickly also want to make a little detour to make it even more, to make people understand more like why this is so amazing. Like, so for instance, once you grow, for instance, Instagram, a lot of brands, like I get contacted every day by supplement brands that want to work with me and that want to like make me, I don't know, ambassador or give me a code or something, you know, like this influencer marketing. And I'm like, no, not for me, thank you. Because it doesn't make sense. Like we do all the education, we help like the customers, you know, on their way. We take really good care of them, and then you get like a small shitty percentage of like for all that work. Well, they tap into your network. No, like I need to stand 100% behind just one beautiful company that I 100% trust, that I know everything about, like inside and out. I know how they do their testing, they third party lab testing. I know that how they are sourcing. I know what impact they are making, like at the grower level, at the distiller level. I know how well they take care of everyone working with them. I know how their company works. I just 100% trust them, and it just makes so much sense to then step into an opportunity that really rewards you for that work. And I don't have to then become like, oh, use this code. Oh, here you can get like, you know, like, I don't know, like doing dances and selling. Like, no, you know, like we're honest entrepreneurs and we need to be rewarded for our work and our knowledge and the time that we put in and the trainings that we give. And that's why, as well as another reason to work with doTERRA for me. Then what would I say to myself 6 years ago when I was standing at the beginning of my journey with doTERRA? I would say just take the leap, take the jump. You've got nothing to lose. You will figure everything out along the way. You don't have to, you know everything perfectly before you start. Like we said before, start before you're ready. Life begins outside of your comfort zone, and just start failing forward, because we can never, like, our nervous systems don't want to fail, but if we just accept that we will, and that it's just about like getting up again and trying something different. And you don't have to do that even so much anymore with our team, because we did all of that trial and error for you. And we now just pass along what works. I think those will be the messages. And to always work on your self-trust. And the moment you feel like life is going in a direction where you feel this is not my life, to really take action and to stand up for yourself and to make a change. I almost get emotional about that, because that's, I think, the most important thing.
Yeah, and that is a step of growth in whatever way, in
Yeah.
whatever way, right? That's what doTERRA has been for me. I think for both of us, like it we grew with it, right? We grew
Yeah.
with our mistakes and we grew with the lessons and we grew with the
Yeah.
victories. So every time
Yeah.
that we really got something that we looked forward, we grew,
Yeah.
our self-confidence grew. And every time that we went through poo and came out of it a little bit, no, a lot stronger, we're just like, can really look back now and go like, whoa, I'm really becoming this woman that I'm really becoming a woman that I envisioned a lot.
Yeah, exactly. And there's no ceiling.
No.
That's in many companies, or like when there's a ceiling, or when you have to do everything in the company, right? Like from logistics and shipping and so on, you're spending a lot of time not in your genius zone. And those two as well. It's again reasons why this is just epic. And I keep coming back to it 6 years in, because it's just so smart. The whole business model is also written by a woman in our team. So the compensation plans is very, you can see it. It's just rewarding long-term impact and collaborative leadership and all these feminine qualities that other business models, which are very well like known, are just not giving. And especially if you're a woman and you have big dreams, or at some point you want to have kids and so on, like you want to create something that gives you more time freedom, more location freedom, financial freedom, emotional freedom, physical freedom,
exactly.
which you
That
can do from
holds
home.
you.
That
You need to
holds
have
you.
something that holds you and say,
Yeah,
go live your dreams.
yeah,
You know, that woman really deserves that.
yeah,
We deserve that for
yeah.
ourselves. Yeah. I
Um,
love you with all my heart. You know
I
that.
love you with all my
Same here.
heart.
I love this conversation. I'm just thinking like, man, we have to make a series out of business lessons because I
Yeah.
think there is such you have such a depth as an entrepreneur and as a woman. I love learning from you. So thank you.
Thank you so much, love. I can only give that back to you. It's been such a joy to do this together with you. I'm so grateful that you invited me on this journey, because also, after everyone watching, the more joy you will find in the business partnerships that you have, like the longer and the more sustainable it is and the further it can grow, right? And it's been such a joy really to do this with you, and also that we can be so open and so honest, like I love your honesty, love. Like you're just like, that saves so
No
much time.
filter.
You're just no, because sometimes we tell ourselves things in our heads and you're always calling out the narrative or the story, and it's just so powerful. And of course sometimes you're in that moment like, oh, but then it quickly shifts and you're like, wow, that's the breakthrough moment. So it's just, working with you is an absolute gift. I'm just grateful every day for you bringing this into my life, love.
I actually really love you still do it. It's just for you guys to know, Laura still sends me this message. It's just like, show me the thing that nobody wants to show me. And in like half an hour, right? We have this breakthrough and she's like,
Yeah.
okay, I got it. Now then she goes off and she's
I'm
launching
always
off a rocket into
asking
the
Isa
next
for,
one.
I'm asking Isa always for my blind spots. I'm like, okay, this is it. This is how I'm doing. Where am I missing something?
Say that thing, is it that thing?
That
It's like,
thing that no one wants to say, but you see it and then you say it, and then
yeah.
we're happy on their way. We can
Yeah,
fly.
yeah. Yeah, and I can only say the same. Like, if I can take the opportunity for anybody who's considering a partnership with Laura, you will unlikely find somebody who's so strong in their work ethics and in their inner ethics like Laura. Like, for me, you've been really an example of somebody who's incorruptible and who always show up. You always show up, sometimes as a business partner, a lot of times as a human being. And this is just golden, right? Like, it's not because you're a very good person, but you have this innate knowing on how to serve, and I think this is beautiful about you.
Thank you so much, love. Really appreciate your beautiful words. They land in my
Well,
heart.
and also, like, you're going to become a hormone expert in 4 months working with her, because this woman is like, she knows
I
everything.
make it simple.
You make it. Yeah, and the vast
um,
amount of knowledge that we have already available, it's also quite impressive, right? I was just
yeah,
saying this. If you want to learn everything about women's health, just become our customers and watch our videos. It's really, everything is already there. We kept no secrets.
yeah. We really invested tens of thousands of euros in the customer resources that we have. Like, no joke.
No, and it's worth
It's
it,
a,
right?
yeah,
It's worth it because, like, we can see the results, and we can also see how potent it is to educate other women and see them become advocates of this more conscious and more empowered way of living,
yeah,
ultimately.
yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Ah, this was amazing. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been such a joy. I always love talking with you. And let's definitely talk soon
Right?
again.
Okay, so let's
Yeah.
gonna make a
Look,
series out of it. Let's
we
go.
can. Yes. Amazing, love. Have an amazing day.
You too, everyone who's been here with us. Thank you so, so much for joining. You can
Yes.
always, Amelie, I love it that you were here. You can always drop us questions. You can always send her messages on our inbox. And whenever you're ready, if not, whenever you're ready to get started working with us, just send us a DM and say, hey, I'm ready. Start before you're ready. Start before you're ready.
Start
That's
before
what
you're
Kat
ready.
says, of course.
Love it.
So just send a DM, hey, I'm not ready, but let's go.
Exactly. Let's do that. I would love anyone coming in. It's the freedom movement, really. Literally, if you're a wellness entrepreneur, this is
Yeah.
the way I would say.
This is the way. There's nothing to give up and so much to gain.
That's beautifully said. Yeah, nothing to give, so much to gain. Yeah.
Let's have a beautiful week
Okay.
now. Ciao,
Yes.
ciao.
Ciao, love. Lots of magic to you. Ciao. Ciao, ciao.